Ram Hare Hare.
Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse number 9. Sanjay Uvacha Evam Uktva Rishikesham Gudakeshah Parantapaha Nayotsya iti Govindam Uktva Tushanim Babhuvha. Sanjay said, after speaking these words, Gudakesh Arjun, the subduer of his foes, said to Shri Krishna, O Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. So now these and the next verse is being spoken by Sanjay, who was the charioteer of Maharaj Dhritarashtra, and he was the disciple of Dvaipayan Krishna Shri Ved Vyas. And by the blessings of his Guru Srila Vyasadev, Sanjay had the special boon of a divine vision by which he could see the events happening at a great distance, and not only see them but also hear the conversations. So using that special boon, he is narrating what is happening in the battle of Kurukshetra while sitting in the palace with Maharaj Dhritarashtra. Now Maharaj Dhritarashtra, when he earlier heard that Arjun was becoming despondent and had decided not to fight and kept his weapons down, felt very happy that now this battle will come to end and his sons Duryodhan and others will be victorious. But then Krishna chastised Arjun, and it seemed that Arjun will be swayed into fighting by Krishna's words. So Maharaj Dhritarashtra started feeling, oh, now maybe Arjun will fight. But then again, as we saw in the last few verses, Arjun was telling Krishna that he does not think that this battle is right, and to fight with one's elders is religious. And now he says finally that, O my Lord, I shall not fight. Hearing this once again, Maharaj Dhritarashtra's hope that this battle will come to an end without Pandavas taking up the arms, that hope seemed to be becoming true. Because if the battle would actually take place, there was a high possibility and probability that Pandavas will inflict major injuries to the Kaurava army, and many of the sons of Maharaj Dhritarashtra would die. He knew that very well. So he was certainly very exhilarated when he heard that Arjun has finally decided not to fight. Now Sanjay knew what was going on in the mind of his master King Dhritarashtra, and he wanted to make sure that his master was not under any illusion. A real servant will not simply indulge into lip service and do only those things which his master wants to hear about and master likes. He actually will give good advice to his master, albeit in a very honorable way, because ultimately he is the servant of his master. So Sanjay knew this very well. Remember, he had a divine vision. It's not that he could only see what was happening at a distance, he actually knew what was right and what was wrong. He very well knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and wherever Krishna is, ultimately victory will be for that side only. So here he very cleverly says, or he addresses Arjun as Paran Tapaha. Paran Tapaha means subduer of his foes or slayer of the enemies. So even though Arjun is saying that he will not fight, Sanjay is referring to Arjun as Param Tapaha, that he will ultimately be the one who will slay the enemies, whom? The Kauravas. And how will that happen? Because right now Arjun is not ready to fight. So he again calls Arjun as Gudakeshaha. What does Gudakeshaha mean? We had discussed this before. Arjun had complete control over his sleep. So Gudak means sleep and Ishaha means one who has controlled. So Arjun had complete control over his sleep. If he did not want, he could stay awake for days and months and even years. Now sleep in one sense is a sign of ignorance. And right now Arjun was overwhelmed with another type of ignorance, ignorance of his duty, ignorance of his responsibility, ignorance of what true religious principles are, ignorance of what true compassion is, ignorance of what Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord, wanted of him. And unless this ignorance is removed, Arjun will not be able to fight. And to confirm that this ignorance of Arjun will 100% be removed, Sanjay refers to Krishna as Rishikesham as well as Govindam. So as we had discussed before, Rishikesh means master of the senses. So these senses which were deluding Arjun, including the mind and his other senses, were overwhelming him. Now Krishna, who is the master of the senses, is going to take control. He's going to take charge of Arjun so that Arjun's senses are no more bewildered. His mind is no more confused and he is able to come out of this deep ignorance of what his responsibility is. And the very fact that Arjun surrendered to Krishna, in verse number 7, he said, Karpanya dosh upahat swabhava. And then he says, Shishyaste aham shadhi mam tvam prapannam. O my Lord Krishna, O my dear friend Shri Krishna, I am surrendering at your lotus feet. Please tell me what is right for me. So the very fact that Arjun has surrendered to Krishna means that his ignorance will be removed. For example, if a poor person comes to the doorsteps of a very rich person who is very charitable, it is for sure that he is going to get some charity by which his poverty will be removed. Now, if he goes to such a person who does not have any money or someone who is miser, then his poverty is not going to be removed. But a rich person will be able to remove the poverty. Similarly, Krishna is the richest in terms of knowledge, and he's the most charitable because he wants to share with everyone. It's only us who do not want to take the mercy of the Lord, but he is giving it away freely. Please come and take this knowledge. So when we are at his doorsteps, when we are surrendered at his lotus feet, where is the possibility of continuing to stay in ignorance. So Sanjay is very appropriately and in a very subtle way telling Maharaj Dhritarashtra that, oh my dear sir, please don't be too happy because this battle is going to be fought. Arjun's ignorance is going to be removed. And now Shri Krishna is ready to do that, and see, he is smiling. He says in the next verse, Tam uvacha rishikeshaha prahasan ev bharata senayo ubhayo madhye vishidantam idam vachaha. O descendant of Bharat, Dhritarashtra, at that time Rishikesh, Shri Krishna, apparently smiling in the midst of both armies, spoke the following words to the grieving Arjun. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary says, to ridicule his friend Arjun, who is in Sankhya Bhav, Krishna shows him that it is improper to be aggrieved in this way, thus drowning him in an ocean of embarrassment. Shri Krishna remarks, Oh, you are quite devoid of discrimination. Yet Arjun has accepted the position of Krishna's disciple, and it is improper to immerse a disciple in an ocean of shame in this way. Therefore, Krishna is pursing his lips and trying to hide his smile. Here, the import of the word Rishikesh is that although Krishna was previously controlled by the loving statements of Arjun, now for Arjun's own welfare and out of love for him, Krishna is controlling Arjun's mind. So now Krishna is ready to eradicate the ignorance of his dear friend and disciple Arjun, and through the medium of Arjun, ready to eradicate the ignorance that we all are suffering from. Therefore, he spoke this message of Bhagavad Gita not in a corner of the battlefield. Here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that it is very important to note that the Lord spoke this message in the midst of both the armies. On both the sides, one side were the Kauravas and the other side were the Pandavas. And Sri Bhagwan was equally visible to both the armies. So he did not keep secret this message of Bhagavad Gita from others. Along with Arjun, he gave this message to everyone who was standing on that battle of Kurukshetra. Now it is a different thing that only those who were devotees actually understood what Shri Krishna was saying. Those who were demoniac, those on the side of Kauravas, they did not understand what the Lord was speaking, except for those like Bhishma Pitamaha, Guru Dronacharya and others who were Krishna's devotees, even though fighting on the side of the Kauravas. This human life is so important to understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that the residents of both heaven and hell desire human birth on the earth planet because human life facilitates the achievement of transcendental knowledge and love of Godhead, whereas neither heavenly nor hellish bodies efficiently provide such opportunities. And we have to take full advantage of this human body and not waste it only in material pursuits. So now Shri Krishna, the Supreme Lord, from the next verse is going to start the transcendental message of Bhagavad Gita. So let us once again resolve to apply ourselves and with great sincerity and mood of humility hear this message and make all the effort to understand it, apply it in our lives and also share with others. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Have a very blessed day.
Namo